Good morning here at the Organic Roads Allotment. Today, it's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. Just right behind me, a few clouds, but not too bad. So I've promised myself I wasn't actually going to do projects. I wasn't going to say, okay, this is the project I'm going to finish. But today, the little projects that I have to do at the allotment are interlinked. So I've got behind me, I've got horse manure that's been rotting down since I started, piling up in August last year. Okay, I have to tend most of this, but the reason I've got it uncovered today is because I have to actually fill these beds behind me. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 beds to actually complete today. One of the beds I've already started using it. All I have to do is put a little bit of a felt on the inside of it just to protect the wood a little bit. This is going to be the carrot bed, and I have to actually sieve the soil so that there isn't too many stones. As you can see, there's quite a lot of stones, and whenever a carrot hits that, they split. I've had that problem the last 2 years. Now, to solve that problem, rather than just concentrate on actually aerating the compost here, filling the beds, I'm going to actually design something to help me. Now, what I've got this here is a few of the tools that I'm going to use. So obviously, I've got my long handle spade. I've got some lumber here, and I've gone to Wicks and picked up this netting. Now, I don't want to sieve them, all the beds completely. Okay, a little bit of bigger material in it is okay. However, I'm gonna have to turn this into a bigger version of this little thing here that I've got. Okay, so that's not big enough for an allotment. Okay, when I ordered it, it did say I think it's about 30 centimeter. And I thought, okay, it'll be all right, but that's way too small. I need something much more that size. Okay, let me get to it. There's a lot of work to do. Now, to complete this project, I'm limited to this size because this is the size that Wicks sell, which is it's about 2 feet exactly. And that is, if you're using metric, that's about 61 centimeters by 3 feet, which is again about 91 point something, 91.5. Okay, so what I have to do, I think, is to cut this piece of wood so that I have one at the top and one at the bottom, and I think I will have enough for top and bottom for both sides. And once I've done that, I can then improvise what to put on the end of this. So let's get to it. Okay. Yeah, so I'm almost into construction. If I get tired of teaching maths, I'm actually get into construction. I'll be really bad at it. Okay, I thought at this point I should just point out that this is 5 centimeters wide. No, actually 4.5. It's a 4.5 square. So quite good a piece of wood. Right, so let's just see. Yep, that looks good. Okay, now all I have to do, one side done. Phew. After possibly about 40 minutes, I've managed to turn this into that, the industrial version of this little sieve here. Of course, this has much bigger holes, but what I wanted to catch are bigger stones like that. So when I grow crops like beetroots, carrots, in some cases even potatoes, I always find that they get holes because of stones like this in my allotment, which is plenty. So lucky enough for me, I don't really have to do the whole allotment. All I actually have to do is sieve the soils that are in the beds with the root vegetables that I'm going to be growing. So that's why I put in this effort. And to be honest, it was pretty cheap because this sieve net here was from Wicks, and I think it's £6.50. And the pieces of wood is something that I've had on the allotment for years. So it cost me £6.50. That to order or to buy from one of the local shops will possibly cost you pretty much about the same. And if you compare the size, you can pretty much see that which one is going to do the job. Okay, all right. Now let's get to the job of actually filling the beds. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have myself a drink of water because, wow, that sun is really beating down. So I have to make sure that I stay hydrated and I can get to it. Woo! Which bed we're going to fill first? I think I'll start with the carrot bed first because it's the one that I really want to complete. So what I'll have to do is put this up on the side and just keep putting the soil through it. I'll then go with my ratio that I've actually thought of. At the bottom, I'll put some compost. On top of that, I'll put some soil. And because it's a carrot bed, I'm not going to put too much compost. I don't want the carrots to actually pick up too much of the compost smell, and I don't want to say taste. So I've already got the soil. I'm getting it from that bed over there. So all I have to do is transport it over there and put it in. What could go wrong? Okay, let's do that. My first task before I fill this bed with compost is to just dig it out a little bit so that the compost I put on there will be under some fine soil. And I think that will provide really good nutrients to the soil under. So whatever I plant in here, be carrots or beetroots, it will really have nutrients that you can reach down and grab out of the soil. So I'm just digging it out a little bit. We are now at the point where I can use this little contraption that I made to try and fill this bed. So I think all I have to do is just move it along the bed, and hopefully it can sieve the big stones out of here, and then I'll just tip the big stones out. Okay, let's see how it goes. Some big stones are not getting through. I'm sure there are some stones that are getting through, but it's not as bad as before. And if I tip those over in this bed, not bad at all. I'm pleased with this. Okay, let's try it over this side. What I'm quickly going to try is a combination of a comparison between the smaller sieve and the bigger one, so I can just see how much of the stones I'm able to get out of. And I also managed to treat myself to something. Let me just quickly get it. This is a real game changer. So what I've got here is 2 sieve shovels. So all I have to do is just put a handle in this, and so the one on my left here is just slightly smaller than that sieve in there, and this here is even much smaller. So I can take, for example, let me just take an example of this. If I were to just get some sand, to get soil that I've actually just put in here and sieve that, you can see how much stones there is in that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pile the soil here and then run it through this. Okay, to be honest, I don't have a choice because I don't think I'll be able to fill this bed today if all I used was just that. But if I do pile it here with the bigger stones out, I'll be able to sieve it just like this and then put it in a wheelbarrow, cart them away. Okay, change of plan. Let's go from that to this. And to make it easier for myself, I'm gonna put it in here and put sand through it. It's an ever-changing environment, the allotment. So, okay, put it back here. Rerun some of this through my new toy. Okay, let's see how many stones we managed to get out of this. Oh wow, this is quite a lot. I think what I'll do is I'll show you the wheelbarrow once I've actually filled up this bed. That way you don't actually have to go through the boring watching of me sieving all of this soil. Okay, let's see how that goes. Okay, after about 2 hours, this is where I got to. So I've managed to get this absolutely fine sand. And now what I'm going to do is spread it on top of the compost that I've got. Okay, I think the carrots will love that. Okay, and I'll show you the final bed. It's almost end of the day. All I have to do now is just finish this bed off by spreading a little bit of compost on top. And as you can see, the soil has been sieved nicely. There's no stone in it. It took a long time to actually do this much soil. However, I think it's gonna be worth it when we get our crops from here, especially the root vegetables like carrots, beetroots. They're not gonna have damage on it. So fingers crossed, because it did take a lot of time. Okay, so I'm gonna spread the compost now. I've also had to sieve this compost to just make sure that there's no stones. That's why it looks nicely and broken up. This is actually rotted down horse manure, so it's much richer than just your standard compost. So I've had this on in a pile for months now, so I'm hoping that any seeds that the animals would have eaten would have already sort of been heated down whilst the compost was in that pile. So that looks exactly like how I want it to look, to be honest. I could not be any happier than this. So right at the bottom of this, there's a layer of compost. Then there's a layer of sieved soil, which is also still very, very good soil. It's just that I've actually put it through 2 different sieves. Okay, all of our beds have actually been filled, and I've put this tarp on top just to prevent any weeds. So what I've actually planned is every year I'll roll the tarp back during the growing season, and during off season I'll roll the tarp that way. So I've measured it to the beds. On one side is stapled, and on the other side I've pretty much just weighted down with some wood. So my thinking is that I'll just roll it onto the other side and secure it onto the floor, and then that means I can actually like always cover it when I'm not using it. So that's what I've done. The other thing that I'm trialing is also half of my beds have got this membrane on the inside, and the other half I've left them bare. I did ask someone who had their beds covered, and they said that it did protect the wood. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna find out for myself by covering one and not covering the other. I don't know whether what I grow in it has any sort of effect onto whether the wood get damaged, but I'll see the difference between that and this one. I'll possibly maybe give it a year just to see whether they are the same or whether there's a discernible difference. So otherwise, that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching, and remember to subscribe to our channel so you can follow our growing season, and yeah, we appreciate it.